Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to episode 163 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
And welcome to the past that is the future that is right now. And I mean, we're recording this over a week before it has to go out because we have a trip. So right now, when this goes up, we're in Sacramento on a trip with Sterling and their performing arts troupe. Unless you're not listening to this on the exact morning that it goes live, in which case it's the past and we're back home. Or perhaps on a cruise. You never know. Time's weird.
Wibbly wobbly. Timey-wimey. We are going to continue to go over what is happening in 2025 at the Disney parks and resorts. And today we are going over West Coast Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
I love how you completely ignored my intro and just moved on.
Yeah.
All right. So the closures and refurbishments that are happening at Disneyland this year. We're doing this little mini series as a service to everyone to try to help folks plan for what's coming up in the parks and resorts. So if you're looking to take a trip and you want to know, is something going to be open or closed or what's new or what special events are happening that you may want to plan for or around, here's your one-stop shop. So with that, let's take a dive into the negative side, the bad things. Well, they're for future good. But for right now, the things that are closed and under refurbishment.
At this point, anyway, I would recommend going to the Disneyland website and taking a look to see if there are any refurbs around the time you are planning to go. They update it throughout the year.
They do, and I have noticed that Disney World seems to be much more forthcoming with advanced notification of things happening than Disneyland does. So
there you go.
Keep track of what's going on the web. So looking at Disneyland proper, the OG theme park, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln remains closed. It closed back in April of 2024, and it still is closed for a few more months. We'll get to what's coming here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. The Disneyland monorail is also closed right now. It closed on January 6th, and it will reopen March 7th. As will the Disneyland Railroad. It closed a week later on January 13th, and it will reopen on March 7th as well.
So rails are bad.
Well, rails are getting maintenance.
There you go. Fair enough. Speaking of maintenance, It's a Small World closed again on January 21st for maintenance and refurbishment, and it's expected to open again sometime this spring, although there is no specific date. Now, it was also closed from mid-September through mid-November for maintenance and to install the holiday decor. But it's very interesting to have multiple multi-month maintenance windows and refurbishments back-to-back. Kind of interesting, but not too surprising for a water-based ride.
Yeah, they got to do maintenance for water rides, but they're also having to take down all the holiday decor. They have to put it up, and then they have to take it down. So,
True.
Yeah.
But these maintenance windows have been a lot longer than just decor install and deinstall.
True.
So that said, Small World typically does go down for a couple weeks in the fall. I think it's usually mid to late October for its holiday overlay install, and then again a quick closure in January for a short time to get back to normal.
Haunted Mansion had its typical brief closure in January to uninstall the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. It is back open again in normal mode. Haunted Mansion will close again before Halloween season starts in August for a few weeks or so to get Jack Skellington and the gang back in place for spooky season and Christmas. And Disneyland.com will put those dates up at a later time in the year.
Indeed. The Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe closed on January 7th for a refurbishment. There is no opening date announced yet. There is construction walls around the building. There's lots of scaffolding. They are doing something big to that location.
Interesting. They have really good
Indeed.
breakfast croissants there.
Yes.
The sailing ship Columbia closed for around a month, beginning January 8th, and it will be reopening on February 8th or thereabouts, probably right around the time you were listening to this.
Let's head over across the Esplanade to California Adventure Park. Over there, Grizzly River Run is closed. It went down on January 6th for its annual maintenance window. It is a water ride. We talk about this a lot. It's slated to open mid-March around the 14th or so.
Seems to be a theme about water rides going down in January. Nobody
Yes.
wants to ride them then.
No.
On to some sad news for now. The red car trolley will permanently close on February 9th. This is to get ready for all of the expansion that they are doing in Avengers Campus. I'm really hoping that this will open back up once they finish all the construction over there in 5 years or so.
I don't. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. The train tracks obviously are not being affected by what they're going to do, but what is being affected is where they're putting a new roller coaster is right where the maintenance shed is for this trolley.
Mm-hmm.
So the last I heard, they are planning to park the trolley on the rails out by the front entrance. So it'll still be around for people to climb on and take pictures and have a little sit down there, but it will not be moving anymore. So we'll see if that ever comes back as a thing. I sure hope it does.
Yeah, I know they'd have to build another maintenance shed. So I'm saying maybe once they're done building all the other stuff.
They'd have to move tracks too, or lay new tracks. So it wouldn't just be a back office kind of thing.
Yeah, they do that though.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We'll see. We'll put in a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have any sway.
Mm-hmm. Also closing for a while, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. They're doing a refurbishment starting on March 10th, and we do not have an open date for that right now.
Speaking of no reopening dates announced, the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail is closed for refurb starting on February 17th. No word on what they're doing over there. I guess the redwoods need to be challenged. They have been challenged and need a break. Maybe it's a coffee break time for the tree.
Have you been over there?
I've been over there in a line waiting for something at night. I don't think I've ever been through that area of the park during the day. No.
Oh, all right.
Thanks for asking.
Yep.
Looking at the broader Disneyland resort, the Pixar Place Hotel pool and the pool deck will close for refurbishment on February 17th. And as is the theme here with everything in Disneyland, they're not telling us when it will reopen.
They are allowing guests to go use the Disneyland pool while this is closed, which is kind of weird, I think. I mean, why not use the Grand Californian pool, which is literally right across the street?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of the Grand Californian, Storytellers Cafe will be briefly closed for a renovation on March 3rd for a few weeks. And guess what? No opening date.
It does say on Disney's website, though, that it just says for a few weeks. So who knows? Also at the Grand Californian, Napa Rose, which is the signature restaurant there, will be closing for several months starting in late April, from what we're hearing. Officially, there's no firm date announced yet, but it should reopen in the fall.
So we should be good for spring break, is reading through the tea leaves what I have gathered.
We should get a reservation in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I want to eat at the kitchen area.
Yes, totally.
Yummy restaurant. And the Grand Californian itself is entering a full hard refurbishment starting this year. They'll take groups of rooms offline to completely replace fabrics, artwork, furniture, and just about everything else. Don't worry, they are very careful to avoid any impacts to guests at the hotel in terms of like noise and other inconveniences. That said, do expect lower room availability for the duration of the work as the refurbs work through the various floors and wings of the complex. Disney has shared that the refurbished rooms will continue to embrace the arts and crafts theming the resort is known for, with modern influences to carpets, upholstery, and bedding. Folks have spotted the popular DVC Murphy beds being staged for installation, too.
I am very excited for this refurbishment. We are going to be able to be staying at the Grand Cal in a pre-refurb room. And we're doing that over spring break in April.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am so excited to try to do that again in the not too distant future and get a refurbished room. You know, for the people, for science, for content.
Yeah,
These are the sacrifices that we make for you, dear listener. We stay at nice DVC resorts.
We've never stayed at the Grand Californian.
Not for lack of trying.
This is true. On to things that are opening. Disneyland Resort is celebrating its 70th this year. 70 years. Seven decades of Disney.
That's a lot.
It is.
It's many.
It is. So
it's more than 69.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. This is starting on May 16th, and we don't have a specific end date, but knowing Disney, they will do this for like 18 months or so.
I think I heard 16 or 18 months thrown around before, so of course.
Of course. And the theme of this is Celebrate Happy.
Okay.
That's what it is. Of course, you can expect merchandise, new outfits, new food, new cavalcades, all sorts of stuff.
I wonder if they'll have blue icing on everything like they did in Florida. I hope not. That was not a good look.
I don't know what the color theme is. I mean, I know I've seen some artwork, but I don't know if blue is the prevailing color.
Well, we'll find out.
Yes, we will.
Wondrous Journeys, a nighttime spectacular celebrating the legacy of Walt Disney Animation Studios, starts on May 16th, also celebrating the 70th anniversary of this park.
This is a neat little fireworks thing. Not little. Their fireworks things are pretty big, but
yes,
it's celebrating 100 years of Walt Disney Animation Studios. So it will be really cool to see that, to watch that fireworks spectacular.
Absolutely. And I bet you they'll have a bunch of really great projections on the castle.
Oh, yeah.
Over at Small World and things like that too. So that'll be fun.
Yep. Along with all the 70th stuff, the Paint the Night Parade is coming back. I love this parade. I think we've seen it once, and it's just so gorgeous. This, of course, all this is starting May 16th, and we're going there in April, so we'll get there eventually.
So you're saying we have great timing once again.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet.
We mentioned earlier that the Disneyland story presenting Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln was closed. And the reason that has closed is because they are going to be putting in there Walt Disney, A Magical Life for the 70th anniversary. This is an animatronic of Mr. Walt Disney himself. And eventually, this will be rotating between Walt and Mr. Lincoln. I'm guessing when they open it, it's going to be just the Walt Disney Magical Life for a while.
Yeah.
And then they'll flip it back and forth. Thusly, there is no date yet for Mr. Lincoln coming back, but Walt will be in the parks starting May 16th, or an animatronic representation of Walt.
Yes. Let's not go too far.
Okay, sorry.
Also on May 16th and heading over to California Adventure, World of Color Happiness will start its run. This is a nighttime show there in the lagoon with lots of lights and all sorts of fun stuff. This is hosted by the Emotions from Inside Out.
Mm-hmm. Also coming to California Adventure is the Better Together Parade, which is a Pixar Pals celebration parade. This is happening sometime in the summer.
Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Love all those Pixar pals.
Yes.
Boy, I sound super sappy. Anyhow, moving on. Let's look at the events happening at the Disneyland Resort this year. Did you know that it's their 70th birthday of the resort of Disneyland this year?
Not yet. Oh, yes, this year. Mm-hmm. It's coming.
Mm-hmm. Did you know it starts on May 16th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But starting off the year, January 17th started the Lunar New Year celebration. It is going on at Disney's California Adventure through February 16th. This is the year of the snake, and there are new outfits, food, music, merchandise, parades, all sorts of stuff. Nathan,
Yes.
you are a snake.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
Your birth year, you are a snake.
Oh, I thought you were like mad at me for something.
No.
Okay. Well, maybe.
So this is like supposed to be your year, I think, because it's the year of the snake. It's
boy. Yeah, it's really started off great.
yeah.
Yeah, my knee is still messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the snake character that they are using to highlight?
I don't know. Let's see. The snakes, they've got Ka. They've got Sir Hiss. Are there other snakes?
I don't
There's
think so.
Jafar in his snake form.
No, that guy's not cool.
No. I don't know. Maybe Sir Hiss.
If there was only some way for us to know. Oh, well, moving on. What's happening in February?
In February, over at Disneyland Park, they are having the Celebrate Gospel event, which is on February 8th and 15th.
Do you know anything about this? Or I'm guessing there's going to be concerts and
There's going to be
stuff?
concerts. Yep. Gospel concerts and other things just on those 2 days.
All right. Also happening in February over at DCA, it's the California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. This starts on February 18th and runs through April 21st. This is a fantastic food and wine event. And not just because all of the food in California is better than all of the food in Florida, but also because it's not 95 degrees and 130,000% humidity.
Yes. There's all sorts of beverage tastings and seminars and stuff that you can sign up for. And some of those are open right now. So if you are planning to go to Disneyland from February 18th to April 21st, take a look online and see if there's anything you can get in.
Hey, we're looking to go there during that time.
Oh,
We should look to see if there's anything we could get in.
I already did this.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be a surprise for me?
No, you know what we're doing.
I know one thing.
That's the one thing.
Oh, okay. Got it.
We're doing a mixology seminar at Trader Sam's.
I am looking forward to that.
Yes.
That'll be very, very cool. Very cool. Moving on into March, the Season of the Force at Disneyland runs March 28th through May 11th. This, of course, celebrates all things Star Wars. We have the Fire of the Rising Moons happening at Galaxy's Edge. What on earth is that?
It's you watch the fireworks from Galaxy's Edge. They have their own music and everything for the fireworks show.
Interesting. So it's
Yeah.
the same fireworks
Yes.
show, but with a different spin on it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we will have to go take a look at that.
Absolutely.
Also, Space Mountain is Hyperspace Mountain at this time. So there's like TIE fighters and X-Wings and all sorts of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely be going on that.
Will you be able to go on that?
I will make sure I can get on that.
Okay.
Well, I know I can get on the ride. The problem is going to be getting back off.
Arm strength.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'll be working on that.
Yep. In August, Disneyland Resort's Halloween time begins on August 22nd, running through October 31st. You get to see all the beautiful decorations, lots of different food offerings, cool costumes,
Yes,
merch.
a lot of the characters have their Halloween costumes
Yes,
on. It's
so
so cute.
Mhm.
Especially in Cars Land.
Yes.
They go all out in Cars Land. It's very cool.
Yep, the decorations are just on point for Halloween.
Yes. There's also a celebration of Coco and the Plaza de la Familia running August 22nd through November 2nd. This is over in Disney's California Adventure Park. This coincides with the Halloween spooky season, but obviously focused on Dia de los Muertos and the whole Hispanic and really specifically Mexican culture around that whole celebration, as is featured in the movie Coco.
Speaking of holidays, November is going to bring in all the trees and wreaths and snow type stuff as the holidays at Disneyland Resort are celebrated.
I almost
November-
thought you were channeling Olaf there for a second. And the sunshine and the beach and the warmth.
Oh.
Anyhow,
It's
carry on.
Christmas time. November 14th to January 7th. And over in California Adventure, they celebrate the Festival of the Holidays over there.
Of course, anything with Disney, there's all sorts of opportunities for you to give the Disney company more money to do special stuff.
Yes.
At Disneyland, this comes in the form of lots of different separately ticketed events. Looking at Disneyland for 2025, we have Disneyland After Dark nights, and there are several different themes that run through the first half of the year. Those include, on select dates, Sweethearts Night in January and February, 90s Night in March, Star Wars Night in April and May, and then Pride Night in June.
Someday we will get over to these. A couple of them. I wouldn't mind doing this.
Approved.
Yeah. Probably all of them. Like, I'd like to do Sweethearts Night, 90s Night, maybe. I don't know. Star Wars Night, definitely.
Yes.
And the Pride Nights at Disney are amazing. I'd love to go to one of those.
Yes. You got to go to Pride Night at Disneyland Paris.
That was so cool.
That was, yeah. Well, maybe I can go too someday.
Maybe someday. Yep. Over in California Adventure for these separately ticketed events, we have Grad Nights, which is select nights in May and June. And want to make sure you all know about this because there are hordes of high school graduation kids just everywhere.
Yes.
If you're worried about that, I would recommend going online and seeing when those specific dates are. They are pretty much all over the place. It's like weekend dates, weekday dates, here and there.
And then one of Alicia's absolute favorite events of the year is the Oogie Boogie Bash at California Adventure. This is on select evenings in the fall and celebrates all things spooky season.
That's like August, September, October. There's already dates out if you want to look. They have not started selling tickets yet.
Tickets do go fast, though.
Yes, tickets go very fast, like day of when they announce them. Nathan, you will love this too if we ever get you down there to see it.
Why, thank you.
Mhm.
I appreciate that. I look forward to living up to your lofty expectations.
Wow. Okay. Mhm.
And as we talked about last week on the Florida version of this planning episode, Run Disney is a thing. It is not a thing that we do, but it is a thing.
Mhm.
At Disneyland, they have two various weekends of Run Disney events. The one that's coming up in 2025 is the Disneyland Halloween Half Marathon Weekend. This is on September 4th through 7th. It's also worth mentioning, though, that the Disneyland regular Half Marathon Weekend, I inserted regular, that is not the official name of it, was held on January 30th through February 2nd. And if you stay tuned in a couple weeks, I think we'll have some very special guests on to talk all about that.
Yep.
And both of these weekends have all sorts of different lengths of races. So there's a 5K, a 10K, there's half marathons, there's all sorts of other challenges. If you do multiple races, lots of stuff going on. There's even yoga sessions if you want to go do group yoga on the ground in a theme park. Hopefully you have a mat.
I think they provide the mats.
Oh,
but-
that's good.
Okay, yeah. That's the run through of the events that we have.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that regardless of all these special events, if you're staying on property at one of the 3 Disneyland Resort hotels, you do get early entry, 30 minutes early, to one of the 2 theme parks there. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, that's early entry at Disneyland. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, it's Disney's California Adventure. Unlike at Disney World in Florida, there is not extended evening hours for any of these resorts.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, indeed.
Remember, we are not affiliated with Disney or their subsidiaries. These are personal opinions and suggestions based on our own experiences. We recommend working with a travel agent or contacting Disney directly to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have questions or suggestions or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experiences, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
You can follow us on socials at Our Mousecapades. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube.
And of course, please give us a rating and review in your podcast app. That really helps people find us.
Don't hesitate to share us with your friends and fellow Disney lovers of all ages.
Thanks for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.
So we have the Festival of the Holidays at Disney's California Adventure, specifically. Let me do that all over again. That was just all over the place. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, this one's going to be all over for you.
Oh, it's all over for you.
It's all over, all the editing.